They figured it out. It's going down, and it is a great honor to talk to the one and only Terence Crawford once again. Here he is, Bud Crawford in the house. Hello, Terence, my man. Thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Wow, this is very exciting. This is a fight that transcends boxing, right? This is a fight that MMA fans, that sports fans, that non-sports fans, everyone is interested in this. Everyone's been hearing about this. So let me ask you this. How close was this to not happening once again? Was it ever, like, did you ever feel, oh my God, we're going to do this again, we're going to get to the finish line, it's going to fall through? Or did this time around, did it feel different?
Oh, for sure. This time around felt completely different. You know, me and Errol, we actually got on the phone and we both agreed that we both was going to do our best to make sure this fight happened, and we got it done.
Wow.
So we're here now. We're about to put on, you know, one of the best welterweight showdowns in a long time.
Who called who, as far as you and Errol? Who made the call first?
Well, I call him, you know, I'm like, hey, listen, man, let's get it on, you know. And he was like, he was all for it. So, you know, we both had the same mission, the same goal, and that's to become undisputed welterweight champion of the world and make history. So, you know, we both agreed that we was gonna do what we can to get the fight done, and now we're here.
I love that. By the way, how long ago was that phone call?
Oh, we talked here and there, you know, from the beginning of the year to up until, you know, we got the contract signed.
Okay. And is the contract signed? Because there are still some people out there like, I'm only going to believe this when I see them in the ring on July 29th. Is it officially signed on your end, and to the best of your knowledge on his end as well?
Yes. To the best of my knowledge, everything is signed. I've signed my part, and I believe that he signed his part. So everything is everything.
Did you have to make any concessions?
Not really, just mandatories. Like, we got a mandatory rematch. Other than that, no.
The interesting thing about this rematch clause is that it works both ways, right? You both have a rematch clause, which I actually kind of like. Like, I didn't like the fact that Ryan Garcia didn't have a rematch clause with Tank Davis, that only Tank had it. Is that accurate that you both have a rematch clause?
Definitely, yes.
And
well, it's different. It's different in a Ryan and Tank situation. When you look at Ryan and Tank, Ryan really didn't have much to bring to the table or much to offer. Ryan never was actually a world champion. Ryan didn't have no title, so he didn't have really nothing to stand on.
Other than his name, his stature, you know, I get that, but I just feel like this makes it totally fair. By the way, why does that come up when I ask you about a concession? Did you not want to have a rematch clause in there at all?
Well, me, I really didn't care, you know, but if it makes sense for us to have a rematch, then it makes sense. You know, I'm all for everything. I just want to get the fight done.
Right. And is it accurate that you have now signed with Al Heyman and PBC?
Signed with them as far as what?
I guess to be your promoter. Like, in other words, some people credited that as one of the reasons why this was able to get done. Is that accurate or inaccurate?
That's inaccurate.
Okay, so are you affiliated with them at all?
For
this
these
fight?
Two fights, yes.
Okay, so why do you say it's inaccurate? Like, you think this would have gotten done regardless?
No, I'm just saying it's inaccurate because it's not like we signed a promotional deal with PBC or Showtime or anything like that. You know, we just doing business together for the time being, and you know, who knows? Hopefully, in the future, we can continue to do business if everything goes according to plan.
So if someone out there is hearing us talk and is hear me being all excited about this fight, saying like, what took so long? In your opinion, I know it's a long and winding road. Like, what the hell took so long to make this fight happen?
Well, business, you know, everything happened at the right time. I believe this is the right time for this mega fight to happen. And, you know, I really don't care what took so long. All I care is that we're here now. And, you know, I'm more than excited to get in the ring and show everybody that I'm the best fighter in the world.
You know, we were just talking about Tank and Ryan, and I know that you know, Ryan didn't have the belts, and we can argue about, you know, who's higher on the pound for pound and whatnot. But I remember working for Showtime on that, you know, that week, and I said that I think that there's going to be a trickle down effect by these two guys who are working for two different promoters or working with two different promoters on two different networks. They got together in a room and said, we're going to make this happen. We're not going to let this fall through. And I said that I thought that there would be a trickle-down effect where other fighters would see all the money that they made, the business, the buzz, the hype, and that we would see other big fights made as a result. Is there any part of you that was sitting at home in late April watching that and said, if these dudes can make it happen, we need to make it happen. Let's go. Our fight could be even bigger than their fight. Ours is an undisputed title fight. Like, come on, let's do this. Was there any part of you that was watching that and that, you know, that visual in Vegas in late April helped trigger what, you know, was announced late last week?
100%. No.
No. Okay.
We was already talking before that fight either, you know, got announced, and we was already making the proper steps to sealing the deal. So I wasn't too concerned with I wasn't too concerned that they was fighting, that we needed to get our deal done because we was already, you know, working towards that.
Okay, fair enough. They did pretty well though on pay-per-view. The numbers are around like 1.2 or so. Are you confident that yours will do even better? Your fight will do even better?
Well, that's the plan. That's the plan. We all, you know, plans to do big numbers, and, you know, we pray that everything goes according to plan. That's all we can do, right?
Sure. You know that sometimes when there's friction, when there's beef, if you will, that helps sell the fight. There was certainly friction between them. And as of right now, that's the biggest fight of the year in terms of pay-per-view sales. Do you feel comfortable in that role? Do you feel any friction with Errol Spence?
Well, I think this fight sells itself. You know, I don't think that nor me or Errol got to go out and do things that's not in our character just to sell the fight. When you look at the fight, you say, okay, you got two undefeated top 5 pound for pound fighters in a prime going head to head for the undisputed welterweight championship of the world. You know, two action-packed fighters. What more do you need? You don't need me going out there acting all crazy. You don't need him going out there acting all crazy just to sell a fight. The fight is going to sell itself because everybody know what they're getting come fight night.
How do you feel about Errol?
Far as? Just
as a person. Do you like him? Are you cool with him?
Well, I can't say I'm cool with him or I like him because, you know, I'm not around him. We're not friends like that, like buddies hang out together. You know, from the outside looking in, he seemed like a laid back, chill type of guy, family type of guy, you know, like to have fun here and there. That's all that I can, you know, say about him because I don't know him personally.
He has been through a lot, you know, with the car accident, the eye injury, etc. Do you feel like, and some, you know, no fault of his own, these things happen, but do you feel like he is not the same fighter that he once was maybe a couple of years ago?
Well, I can't say that. I've never been in the ring with him prior or.
But based on what you see, based on what you're watching, you see with a different eye than me, right?
Well, based on what I see, he's done everything he's done to get to where he is right now and still have 0 blemishes on his record. So we really can't say.
And so going into this fight, it's on Showtime pay-per-view. We just saw you on BLK Prime. That was just a few months ago. What was your experience like fighting on that platform?
Oh, it was good. It was cool. BLK Prime, they did a wonderful job with my last fight against Avanesian. I was happy with everything that surrounded the fight, you know, and props to them.
You're happy. Cris Cyborg fought on that card. Did you get a chance? I know you were preparing for your fight that night, but did you get a chance to watch her? And do you think that she can have a longer career in boxing? She's an MMA legend, of course.
Yeah. I met Cris. Talked to her a couple of times, and you know she did really well. You know, and boxing is different. than MMA, and if she keep continually to train hard and work hard, she'll do just fine.
Why do you think? Do you have any theory as to why we're getting so many big fights in boxing this year? A lot of undisputed fights. We've got Clarissa Shields fighting, and every time she fights, it's undisputed these days, of course. But it just feels like a lot of big fights. Hopefully, we get Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk. Like I said, we just had Devin Haney and Lomachenko. Benavidez Plant was a big time fight. Tank, like it just feels like a lot of big fights are being made. When in the past, your fight, of course, in the past, a bunch of things were stopping these fights from being made. Do you have any theory as to why this is happening now?
I just think it's the right time. Time is, everything in the sport of boxing and other sports as well. Right now, 2023 is the right time for boxing to keep rising, because a lot of people think boxing is dead, and boxing is not dead. Boxing is far from dead. So I guess now's the time to show the public and the people why boxing is still one of the top combat sports in the world.
Does it annoy you when you hear people saying boxing is dead?
Not really, because mainly those are people that don't know too much about boxing. They just look on the MMA side and look at two guys going in there brutally busting each other up, and that's it. And half of the time, they don't even know the UFC. They just know two guys are just going in there fighting blood, sweat, and tears, but they don't see the technique that goes into, everything that's going on in the ring or in the octagon. So really I just don't pay no attention to them.
Did you watch the Haney-Lomachenko fight?
I was there.
You were there, okay. Who'd you score it for?
It was a close fight. A lot of people had Loma. A lot of people had Haney. Some feel like it was a robbery, but I'm no judge. The judge gave it to Haney, and he was granted the victory.
Are you one of those who feel like there needs to be some like radical changing to judges, or just a close fight? It happens 7-5. In other words, that's boxing. How do you feel about that?
Oh, no, it was a close fight. Both of them did great work in there, and I take my hats off to both of them for going out there and then laying it all on the line. As far as the judges, they've been judging for years, so who am I to tell them how to do their job on the outside looking in? That's like somebody coming in trying to tell me how to do my job that never been a boxer before.
Sure.
It's kind of hard.
Although I would say you're Terence freaking Crawford, you know a thing or two about boxing. I mean, if anyone is qualified to say, like, I think this guy won the round or that guy won the round, it would be someone of your, of your stature, no?
Yeah, I can think one thing, but that don't mean I'm right.
Right.
They get paid to do what they do. I get paid to do what I do. I never been to, those judges in classes or those ref classes to see what they scoring on and why they score the way they score. So I can't lecture them into why they chose to pick the winner and how they picked it, because I don't know what based on they scoring it on.
That's fair. I know you're close with Shakur Stevenson. Do you think that Haney will fight him next?
No, not next. I think Haney will move up to 140, or he will try to get Tank at 135.
Wow.
I don't think Shakur next.
And why not?
I just don't think that's a great fight for him to fight right after a Lomachenko fight.
And you think a Tank fight is an appropriate fight?
I just think that he match up better with Tank.
Wow.
Than Shakur.
Who do you think wins, Haney or Tank?
If Haney don't get caught, then he got a good chance of winning.
Wow.
But if he get caught, Tank, with his explosiveness, with his boxing IQ, he got a chance to win it. If it goes the distance, I would say Haney. By stoppage, I would say Tank.
And I feel like I know the answer to this, but Shakur or Haney, you're picking Shakur?
Shakur over everybody.
That's your guy. That's your guy. I respect that. Another one of your guys, Michael B. Jordan, you helped him prepare for Creed 3. We're seeing a lot of influencer boxing these days. Could Michael B. Jordan be successful in a legit boxing match against some of these influencer boxers, given what you've seen from him?
Yeah, but it's hard though, because once these guys start getting punched, you know, then you really get to see the real character. You get to see how they react. You know, you get to see their body language. You get to see a lot about a person once they get hit. Yeah, everybody can look good on the mids. Everybody can look good shadow boxing and hitting the bag, but what they gonna do when they get hit? So Michael B. Jordan, he's very talented. He's very skilled. He's athletic. You know, but I can't go out on a limb and say he'll be this type of fighter or this type of fighter, being that I've never seen him get hit before.
Right. Are there any of the influencer guys that you like that you would say like, oh, I want to go out of my way to watch this guy? I kind of dig him.
No, not really. Not really. Not far as in the fight game. You know, a lot of people, they put on the gloves and they hit the mitts for social media, but we don't see them in the ring. And the guys that we do see in the ring, we see how hard it is for them to get used to actually boxing.
Right. A big story in our world, in the MMA world right now, is Francis Ngannou. He's looking for a big fight against Tyson Fury or, you know, a Deontay Wilder, someone like that, and Anthony Joshua. Do you know anything about Francis Ngannou, and do you think he could hang with any of these guys?
Listen, that guy is a puncher. He's doing his thing in MMA, but it's different over there, you know, calling out the top heavyweights of the world today. I don't see him having a chance with either one of those guys. And that's just being honest.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the honesty. So if you were advising him, like if he asked you, would you say just stick to MMA?
No. He got some skill. I would tell him, you know, get your feet wet. Try to fight some of those lower tier guys first, just to fill yourself out and, you know, get used to being in the ring and going around. And it's different. MMA and boxing is different. So just get used to, you know, some people with skills coming back at you and outthinking you, and just the whole realm of boxing. Yeah. Before you go there and try to mess with those guys, because one guy that you're gonna get one shot, and if you mess up, you're gonna be knocked out until next week for messing with Deontay Wilder.
Right. So, even a Deontay who's not known as like a technical boxer per se, you think would be a huge mistake for him?
He hit you, you going to sleep.
Yeah.
He hit you, going to sleep. Deontay Wilder, he hit you, you going to sleep. Mm-hmm. Tyson Fury, he went to sleep and woke up. So, and I don't see too many other guys doing that. Deontay Wilder, he's one of the biggest punchers ever. So let's just, you know, keep that in mind.
Okay. By the way, I saw some photos of you hanging out with tigers and elephants and stuff like that. Where was this? And were you not, I mean, like, I'd be crapping my pants if I was doing that. You're like literally holding the tiger's tail. Not scary to do something like that?
No, I was always amazed with, you know, nature and the animals and all that type of outdoor adventure type stuff. I was actually in Thailand when we did the lions, and not the lions, but the tigers and the elephants and whatnot. It was cool.
Did you do any Muay Thai over there?
No, I didn't get to go see none of them. I was go see some of them. They was having them every day.
Yeah,
but I didn't get to go see any of them.
Okay, and you didn't train as well?
Well, I'm always training, so I got my little runs on, and you know, the workouts that I could do there without having any equipment and things like that.
Are you doing a lot of, like, I know with Tank and Ryan recently on Showtime, they had him do back-to-back press conferences, New York, LA. Are you guys going to be doing press conferences around the country? What's to come? The fight's coming up. It's in a month and a half or so, a little over a month and a half. And I know tickets go on sale June 2nd, so that's this Friday. And I suspect they'll be, you know, snatched up rather quickly. But as far as press stuff, what are they having you do?
Well, yeah, we got a press tour.
Okay.
That we're doing. I believe next week.
All right.
New York and LA. So
Okay.
yeah,
A little face-to-face action. A little face-off
yeah,
action.
yeah, a little bit.
You like that stuff or you hate that stuff?
I do. It's part of my job.
That's right.
It's part of my job.
And I don't know if you know this, but July 29th is a big UFC pay-per-view as well. How do you think you'll do matched up with the UFC 291 card? Do you think that, is there like a little bit of a, let's see who does better on pay-per-view? Are you not even worried about those guys? Did you even know that you were going head-to-head with the UFC pay-per-view?
Yeah, I did. But, best of luck to them and best of luck to us.
Okay.
It's gonna be a great night for fighting that night.
Oh, it's gonna be incredible. Like one of those dream fights, like I said, that we've been talking about. Mayweather Pacquiao-esque, dating back to the Four Kings days. Welterweight division is sort of a glamour division, if you will, in the world of boxing. I suspect it's going to do huge numbers. Are you a prediction guy? What are you feeling right now? Can you tell me, like, what do you? Obviously you think you're going to win, but like, what are you feeling at the moment?
I'm not feeling nothing.
Okay.
not at the moment. But the closer I get to the fight, the more hungrier I'm gonna get, the more I'm gonna visualize. I'm visualizing a lot right now, but I'm gonna be set in my ways and my mind's gonna be made up of what I'm gonna do. Right now, we just going through the game plan and just, starting camp, progressing. But once we turn it up, then that's where things sets in.
Is number one pound for pound on the line as well?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Okay. There's some people who say Usyk, some people say Inoue, who's fighting a couple days prior to you guys. So I was just curious how you felt about that chatter, if you will.
Well, that's just chatter. A lot of people got me number one pound for pound.
That's right. As do I, by the way, just for the record.
It's just chatter. Some people had their preferences of who they feel is number one pound for pound, and that's cool. That's their opinion. But after July 29th, there'll be no discussion or no conversation on who's the number one pound for pound fighter is.
Okay, and last thing, does the rematch have to happen by a certain time, and would that also be on Showtime?
Yes, it does have to happen at a certain time, and it will be on Showtime, hopefully, but we shall see.
Okay. Does it have to happen by the end of 2023?
Somewhat, yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. Biggest payday of your career?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
I haven't got a check yet.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. Terence, I can't wait for this. Thank you so much for coming on. Best of luck in training. Best of luck on July 29th. Hope to be out there for this one. So if I get that privilege, that would be tremendous. But can't wait to watch it wherever I may be. And good luck to you. I know a lot of fans are pulling for you and are equally excited. It's going to be a great night. So thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, there he is. Terence Crawford, number one pound for pound. Massive fight July 29th. And what a night July 29th is going to be.